Okay, so welcome everybody to XLR Tier 1 Round 5 here at the Brazilian Grand Prix, the circuit Interlagos. A fantastic track that provides some of the best racing that we see all year on the Formula 1 calendar. And well, we do apologise for starting the stream a bit late. We had the usual technical difficulties that are associated with my incompetence. But well, we are finally back and ready to go for this race. And today I am joined by Numi in the co-comms position.
Are you?
Well, I don't know, you tell me.
Oh.
So we are, and I do hope everyone is doing very well this evening and is excited to see what goes down here in round 5. Of course, we're still in the very, very early parts of the season, but Leon Buolder does still lead that championship on 79 points from Shakos on 64, and there's a rather large gap to Giannuzzi in P3 on 48. Jack Imax actually missed a couple of rounds, and that also had some slightly less ideal rounds as well, which has caused him to only be P8 last season's champion on 22 points, which I don't think is ideal for him, but I'm sure he will be able to build back up as the season progresses. But then we are here in Q1, of course. Mr. Business MT currently sits in P5 with the 108.8. He literally just set that time. Just trying to see if anyone else is actually on a flying lap. Looks like Pyro is on a flying lap. Giannuzzi also looks to be on a flying lap. Zaki's Beast, I think, has just finished a flying lap. Haas, also, I think, just finishing a flying lap. And then we've got Martins, who's just put in a time good enough for P3 with a 108.5. We've then also got Petterflat, who will be next to cross the line to actually set a flyer. I think he's ahead of Pyro when it comes to the track. And let's see what Petter can do. Actually, no, he's be pulling into the pit lane. You can see his temperature is far, far down. But here we go, Pyro to the line now. The McLaren driver remains in P6, but does gain about 0.4 of a second on that lap, which should see him probably safe through this first part of qualifying then. Of course, the first part of Q1, of course, we're going to be losing the bottom 5 drivers, but in this case, the bottom 4. Haas will be looking to not be in that elimination zone. He now remains in P15 with a 1... I'm not really sure what he's doing. He's kind of staying out there, despite the fact he's got some pretty low ERS levels out there. An interesting strategy from Haas, let's put it that way. Tech support then will be about to begin his first flying lap in the... I say first flying lap, he abandoned that first attempt, so a 19.6 is not the usual pace that we see tech support driving at. And I'm sure we'll see him start to improve across this next run. So let's figure out if anyone else is further ahead on a flyer. I don't believe they are. Oh no, here we go. The Red Bull driver now coming to the line. Is he improving? Yes, he is. Improves by about 0.2 of a second and manages to move up into P3 as a result. A nice little lap for him, and I'm sure that will probably push him through into Q2. Of course, we'll be taking 15 of these 19 with us. To be honest, I'm pretty surprised we've managed to get 19 drivers, as there was talk about running a short qualifying session today. So I'm rather impressed that they managed to pull out in the end. But tech support currently about 11 seconds up on his lap time at the moment, so I expect him to go into those low 108s, but we'll see how that plays out for him as he does come round turn 15 now. And coming to the line is tech support, P6 with a 108.6, so perhaps we overestimated how fast he would be there. Just trying to see who else. I think that was D10 that just put in another lap time good enough for P4 with a 108.5 for the Ferrari driver. So we then look to see, I think his teammate Unitos, reserving for this evening, was also just about to finish a flying lap. He comes to the line now with a 109.9, 3.5 tenths up, but still not enough to get him outside of that elimination zone. But look at the clouds. It's looking pretty English, I think is the way to describe it, over Brazil right now.
There's been a few drops in the first sector, I think. Like just first sector into the second. There's just been a few raindrops starting to fall, so it have been forecast for rain, and so I think these first laps are going to be all important to get yourself through.
Yeah, I mean, if the rain starts falling, you've pretty much got no chance. of improving a dry time when you're on a wet tyre, improving upon your dry tyre time, it's relatively impossible. So drivers like Petter Flat, who are about to finish their laps, Unitos, who has not had a great lap, Haas now in that elimination zone as well, and they're not by a short margin. That's about 0.3 of a second for both Haas and Unitos, and of course with Petter not actually setting a lap time yet. It's pretty consequential for those guys if they find themselves eliminated in Q1. But here we go then, Petter Flat almost finding exceeding the track limits there at turn 15, but he does manage to move up into P13 and outside of that elimination zone, which pushes Zakis Beast, who is in the pit lane at the moment, into that drop point. Haas just coming out for an outlap now. I think Haas could be the last if the rain does start to fall now, which I can just about see those drops on the screen. There we go, there's one on the onboard camera. Haas will, Unitos and Zakis Beast will definitely be out. Frosted Cheese is desperate to get out there now, but the rain might just get too heavy, and he could find himself pushed down by Haas. So really, it's Frosted Cheese. Is he going to be able to improve enough? Because look at that rain is actually coming down pretty hefty right now. And we could see, we're going to see some eliminations here because they couldn't get out in time, not because they weren't fast enough, which is always disappointing. And let's see how much Haas is up by. Alpine pulls to the inside, manages to let him through, but oh no, Haas is round. Unfortunately, just no grip, not enough traction.
Yeah, he'll be out with that.
Yes, and that means Zakis Beast will most likely be out as well.
In the first sector. It was less than half a tenth in that first sector. Unos also selected the Inters there. They're not going to get him out of Q1.
No, and well, there are your eliminated drivers. We will not be seeing any improvements as, there's Haas yet again having a bit of a slide as he does come through. I believe that is actually turn 10. As DRS, yeah, it's way too wet now to improve whatsoever. Yeah. So then, Zakis Beast, Haas and Unitos will be out. Of course, Wetback Flame, with his qualifying ban, is also out after that pretty chaotic race last weekend in Australia. I do hope everybody did enjoy that stream with Jay-Z at the wheel there. But he is actually racing and out and through into Q2. Let's see if he can continue this progress and manage to make it into Q3 when we get going again. Now, it could be some time. We could be waiting 4 minutes. It just depends if everyone retires.
I mean, based on most of the time in Tier 2 would be the full 4 minutes. But hopefully with these guys, they'll all start retiring. Yeah,
I feel like Tier 1 are slightly more versed in the game and tend to make better community decisions. Let's put it that way. Okay, so just about 5 drivers left to retire. Of course, our plan is one of them. Of course he is. But there we go then, 4 to go, and then we can get on with our Q2 session. And well, I think then...
on the toilet.
Great, so...
So we're going to be here for the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, we're not going to read what you've because, well, let's talk about how excited everybody is for Christmas. I, for one...
Fanatec out of 10, that's how excited I am for Christmas.
A what out of 10?
Fanatec out of 10.
Fanatec out of 10. I, for one, am pretty excited, you know. Of course, we're going to have a couple of weeks break here from League Racing until for the Christmas break. Actually, I don't even know when we're getting started again. Let me bring out my trusty calendar. Alright, here we are. So yeah, we get going again on the 7th of January. So we've got a decent amount of time to relax, to wait before we get going again. Allow the drivers to get some practice in. So if anybody's terrible at Austria, particularly controller players, they will be kicked from the league. You've had enough time to practice. Actually, I don't even know if I'll be there for Austria.
You'll have to be kicked for the league as well.
I am. I'm on the verge of getting kicked because yeah, it's rather awkward one because I have to go back to university for literally 1 week in January, and obviously I can't go back on Monday because I've got the lectures, so I've got to go back on like Sunday, and I'm not bringing my PlayStation back for 1 week. Oh, and Liam's finished doing his number 2, and we can get on with qualifying 2. Yeah, I'm not really planning to lug my monitor and PlayStation on a train journey home. That tends not to work out too well. Just imagine if I dropped that. That would not be good. We've broken one too many monitors already this week, so we cannot do another one. Although this monitor actually is a lot higher, a lot more clearance off my desk, so I think if I slide my controller, it goes under it instead of hitting it, which is wonderful. But well, let's get on with Q2, and let's have a little bit of a chat about the Interlagos circuit then. So we do have 15 corners here. A lot of them do have names, and a lot of them I'm probably not going to say because I will butcher, and that is not always the best. I don't believe we have any Brazilian people in the league, so I think probably...
he raced on the Brazilian flag. I don't know if he's actually Brazilian.
So yeah, I'm definitely not going to butcher. But I think the sort of the first sector, oh, I mean, that's very wet, is all right. Of course, you've got Sanareses, Curva de Sol, Retroposta, Decina Delago, Ferradura, and then it just gets, yeah, I'm not going to try that. I'm just going to call them turns 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Junkao, I can say that one, at turn 12. Turn 13 doesn't even have a name, it's just a small kink. Then we've got 14, yep. And then 15, which does have actually a really cool name, but I'm not particularly trying to butcher that. Imola, I could tell you all the corner names off by heart, but that's just because I'm a simp for Imola. But then, let's see what these intermediate runs will entail. It's going to be interesting to see. Of course, your champion, well, not your championship leader, your championship second place is out there nice and early. Shakos been put in some pretty good performances so far this season, but of course being his usual Shakos self, what on earth is going on there coming out of the pit lane between Pyro and Shakos? I think Pyro wants to...
forgot how to accelerate, I think.
Yeah, well, he kind of just drove and Shakos was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, I'm sure Shakos will be slapped with a hefty penalty for that one.
I'm sure Pyro will be saying some very pleasant things.
Yes, Shakos is German, so I'll leave that to the imagination. What will happen there? Oh, D10!
How has he done that?
D10 and Mr. Business have decided to get into a bit of argy-bargy business, and D10's found himself a 5-second... Was that a 5-second penalty? That was a 5-place grid penalty, right?
Yeah, 5-place grid penalty.
Sucks to be D10.
He didn't have damage.
No. I think D10 might end up being... Oh, what happened here now? Shakos has got back ahead of Pyro. Oh, dearie me.
They're having a lovely old battle. Yeah,
guys, this is Q2. They are very, very close together on track. If I was Pyro, I'd have just backed off now and just waited for...
Oh! Pyro's... Wait, no, it's Liam Wilder. It's not even Pyro. Pyro
oh wait, it is
went
Liam.
off at turn 3. I cut to Pyro and he was just miles off the track.
I mean, Liam is right on the back of Shakos right now.
Wants that extra bit of slipstream.
Yeah, I mean, Liam is... Yeah, he's just going to be hurt so much through the corners.
He's employing the NASCAR techniques of the bump draft. Pair flat round, that's turn 5, I believe. And he's having to wait for everyone to go through. Don't get yourself disqualified.
Ah, yes, Decina Galago. Quite cool.
Yeah, he's going to get himself disqualified. Okay, he's got going again.
Yeah, he has. That was that must have been a scary moment, I think, for Better Flat. I think I'd have been scared because it's a blind corner around there, especially if you're stuck in the position that he was in. So, yeah. Oh well, Plan was the first to cross the line. Well, he sets a 17-0, then that's the pace that they all have to beat. Shakos then is going to be...
not going to be close.
No.
Yeah.
Shakos crosses the line now, and that's a 16-8. Leon Boada... Oh, sorry, Shakos is a 16-9, and then Liam is a 16-8. To be honest, Liam probably has half a second, because he was literally behind Shakos the whole time, that whole lap. We're seeing more laps coming in. D10 17-1, Fuzzle 17-2, Mr. Business 17-4, Giannuzzi a 17-6. I think we've just seen Jay-Z go up into P6. That's a decent effort from him. I think we're going to see one of the Alfa Romeos, that's Martins, into the pit lane. Then that could have caused some pretty... there's the Brazilian local moving up ahead of Leon Boarder, the current championship leader then. That's a decent effort from him. Of course, we've seen Petter Flat into the pit lane. Frosted Cheese making the most of the space he's got on the circuit and does move up into P7 then with a 17-2. So an interesting first set of laps. I think tech support is out there right now on a flyer. We're meant to go to El Plan. I'm wondering if he's going again. No, he's not. I think what we'll see is we'll see Pyro definitely going again. Yes, he is. He's currently close to 5 seconds up on his time, which currently is a 21. So I expect to see him fly up the order now. Yes, he does. P2, just about 200ths away from...
I think the track's drying up. It doesn't seem to be raining at all. Track's drying up.
Yeah,
and that's
definitely.
why the times are tumbling.
Yeah, I think now... I mean, obviously, I'm not sure what the weather conditions look like for the race. Oh my goodness, tech support turning in hard. I thought he was going to go round there. Very aggressive turning. But a purple middle sector for tech support. I'd expect him to be going faster as the rain, of course, is lessening in its intensity and its ferocity around this Interlagos circuit. But I also wouldn't be surprised if tech support just comes to get a time on the door. Yes, he does. And yeah,
half a second.
You can see.
Yeah, it's not slick conditions just yet, but it very much will be in the next few stages.
Yeah, and it might just be worth for these drivers just to box rather than, keep going. You might as well just box, guys, and you're not going to improve.
Liam said he was a second ahead of Shakos, apparently. Like, he said at one point he was a second ahead of Shakos, and suddenly it just came down. Liam selected the soft, first one to do so.
Oh, and Pyro actually invalidated that quicker run there through turn 15 on the pit lane entry, just cutting the corner a bit too much. I think that's a rather stupid place to invalidate there. I think he's only got himself to blame there. Let's see who else we want.
You've only got yourself to blame for the unexpected removal from the top.
D10 goes up to P1 now, about half a second clear of tech support as well on a 15.7. Pretty good lap from him. I think we're going to see Fuzzle set in another lap time now. He goes up to P2 ahead of his teammate with a 15.8 then. Just trying to see anyone else actually improving. Yeah, Frosted Cheese improving.
Martinez came in off his out lap.
Power GT also improving quite significantly here. So here we go, Power GT to the line. Goes up into P3 with a 15.9. Pretty good effort from him. Frosted Cheese is coming into the pit lane instead of setting that lap time. Petter Flat is just putting scores on the door. Shackle's coming out on another set of intermediates. So perhaps these guys don't think that they're going to it's actually going to fully dry up. Which is interesting.
Petter Flat's gone off, turn 4.
Well, we were watching him. And yeah, and indeed he has, and that's an invalidation of his time. And now I'm wondering whether he decides to just come in a box and ditch that other lap time. Giannuzzi is still out there on the circuit on those same intermediate tyres. DRS just being enabled, so I think it is going to dry up because we still have quite a long time left in the session. He's currently 1.7 seconds up on his lap time as the Haas. Let's see where this will put him. I'm sure it's going to put him right to the top of the order. He is going to set this time. Giannuzzi to the line. P1 with a 14.7.
Yeah, that's totally slick conditions.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one's gone out on soft yet. I guess they're just waiting, save a few sets, because it's going to get, drier and drier.
Yeah, I think that's a smart choice. So Shakos now was about 7/10 up through the middle part of the lap. That's only going to be a 16.2, which will only displace tech support. So Shakos, perhaps the conditions a little too dry for the Inters, and they're just overheating a bit. Not quite. They don't quite have that water to help them cool down. you know, that's why we've got the tread, because if you try to use treaded tyres in dry conditions, they'll just overheat way too much. And Shakos, indeed he does. He improves massively through the third sector there with a 13.4. D10 putting in a 14.4.
Giannucci's gone right the way around there.
Yeah, he's finding the water in the grass to cool down his tyres. But yeah.
There is no water left on that track though.
No.
That's bone dry.
But D10 was 9/10 of a second away from Shakos. And they finished their lap times.
It's Shakos.
That is also true. But then we wait to see when the first guys to come out on softs are going to be, because I think they're all waiting for just one run right at the end of the session when it's the most dry.
Yeah, most likely.
So we're probably going to be sat here for a couple of minutes before we see the next one coming out. And well, whilst the time passes, there's not really much to do. Well, I don't know. Christmas is coming. That's all I've got to say. Back to Christmas. Oh my goodness.
My advent calendar, like about a metre away from me at the moment. It's like the highlight of my day, just waking up and opening my advent calendar.
I didn't even have one at uni, and I came back and I got to open like so many days. It was like the best day of my life. What day is it today? Is it the 17th?
17th.
Okay, let's open this live. Because no one's out there. So, oh my goodness, I got the worst chocolate. Well, we're going to eat this and have a snack whilst we wait for the next driver to leave their garage and be out on that circuit. Well, 4.5 minutes to go then.
I've got a hotel chocolate advent calendar. Don't need to worry about getting bad chocolate.
Oh, very bad. Oh no, it's not bad chocolate, but compared to
Oh, here comes.
There we go.
And Puzzle, but both Mercedes on the track.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just starting their outlap, so they'll be a while.
Well, mini break, and we haven't even finished quali yet. I say, a great success so far. But then, so tech support is going to kick us off with our first flying laps on these dries in Q2. I mean, the conditions are extremely dry, let's be honest. So it's going to be, is going to be the guinea pig, but it's almost like he's the guinea pig that's come after they've tested it with, I don't know, like humans or something, I don't know. But then, here we go.
Tech support a guinea pig?
Tech support certainly is not a guinea pig. I know that for a fact. I think. I don't know.
You think?
He's not going particularly fast though, I do have to say.
No, he just shifted down at the start of the straight.
Okay, so he's going for a second warm-up lap.
Yeah, I think he's going for another warm-up lap.
I'm wondering whether he's going to be slipstreaming Fuzzle down the Retroposta, and then Fuzzle's going to slipstream him on his lap.
Possibly. Doesn't seem like it.
I know, that's the thing. It doesn't seem like it, but we'll dream. Tech support, that's an interesting choice, that to go for another warm-up lap. Perhaps he doesn't believe his tyres were quite up to the temperature that he would have wanted them to be. But his teammate Fuzzle has obviously got past now, currently in turn 6, now through to turn 7. And coming up into turn 8, he's now in the middle sector, the tight and twisty region of the circuit where traction is key. He's his hands all over the wheel trying to gather up what little grip he's got there as he now comes through turn 12 into the kink of turn 13, and then there's an even larger kink of 14. And then he's going to barrel his way close to the pit lane entry where he's going to come to the line now. Fuzzle with a 108.4. How's El Plan out ahead of both of them, by the way?
He was in between them, but then tech support let them both through.
Right, we just didn't see him. Sorry, Alplan, he's got like negative screen time today. Power GT then put in a 108.7, 108.8 for Alplan. Shakos a 13. Oh, he has not set a time yet. Pyro 108 now. D10 also putting in a time good enough for P2 at the moment. And of course, they're just trying to get out of this first part of qualifying. Liam Bwalda goes to the top, about 3/10 clear of the rest of the field. Then pretty good effort from him. We then saw Jay-Z move up into P6. He's having a good old run at it. El Nino does not. He's decided to do the tech support strategy, who is currently 1.7 seconds up on his 116, which is not a lot of time.
No, it's 6.6 seconds.
Okay, we just got the wrong delta. Mr. Business moving up into P4 then. That has pushed Shakos into that elimination zone, but I'm sure he won't be there for too much longer. So tech support is going to get a nice little slipstream from his teammate. P2 for tech support with a 108.9, 108.4, sorry. Good lap times between the two Mercedes teammates. That should see them through. Martin's moving up into P3 now with a 108.4. Shakos. Here we go. Let's see how bad this one is. 107.9. Actually, not too bad in relation to the rest of the field. So
only 2/10 clear.
Pyro then is going to have to go again because Pyro could be out here. Jay-Z's out. Jay-Z's out because he's invalidated his time. L-Plan also out. Petter Flat also out in qualifying. And who just made it through? That was El Nino. So Giannuzzi could possibly be out here. Power GT might be under a bit of pressure. Well, we've already got 3 drivers eliminated. Pyro only a 10th up, but look at how low his ERS is. Is he even going to have enough fuel to make it? To make any sort of improvement? I think he will. But his ERS, he's going to be... I think Pyro could find himself out here.
He's invalidated.
Oh, he has in as well. And Pyro out.
Pyro done.
Giannuzzi, is he going to be able to get through? I don't know. He's not. No, he's not. He's too far back. And that means then we lose Giannuzzi, Petter Flat, L Plan, Jay-Z, and Pyro from Q2 then. And we see Shakos, Liam Bwalda, Tech Support, Martins, Fuzzle, El Nino, D10, Mr. Business, Frosted Cheese, and Power GT in Q3 then. And well, let's see how it plays out with 2 runs in the dry for our top 10 drivers then. Unitos keg flamed. Well, predictions for pole. I believe Shakos will take the pole, as always.
You think?
Well, I know he'll take the pole.
Prediction. That's a crazy prediction.
Well, let's see if our bold prediction makes it through. Yeah, let's see if that makes it into fruition when we actually get round to getting those final laps in about 10 minutes' time. Of course, we've got to... we've got to wait until it happens. Shakos is always putting in some good performances for us in qualifying. Has he ever had a bad quali?
Shakos?
Yeah.
Doubt it. Might have had a few on F122, but on this game I don't think there's been a single time where he hasn't had genuine pole position pace.
Yeah, he's honestly just been incredibly in quality and has just got a little bit unlucky in the races. But to be fair, this season he's got luckier than he has before.
That's not saying very much.
I know, that is... That is honestly not saying much, but hey, you got to start somewhere with the luck. So, everybody, get ready, remain in your seats. We are about to see Q3 here at round 5 before the Christmas break. Unitos, my advice is take him out first, see what happens. He can't take you out if he's been taken out. Yeah, please don't do that, because otherwise, the other admins do not want to be cleaning up the war that will be in the driver's chat. I certainly don't want to. I want to go eat dinner. Well, let's see what's going to happen here. Of course, we've got Frosted Cheese out there first on the circuit.
Frosted cruising his way out the pits.
Frosted Cheese. Would you ever eat frosted cheese? Like cold, really cold cheese? I don't think No, I feel like cheese is best melted. I feel like you get the best cheese when it's melted. I feel like cold cheese is nice. Right, it's nice, but it's not as nice as melted cheese. Well, let's stop this cheesy conversation and get ready to see what Frosted Cheese can actually achieve across this next lap around these 15 corners of Interlagos. Frosted Cheese powers his way down that main straight with the DRS wide open now, rounding that final corner and beginning his lap around this relatively short circuit here at Interlagos, braking hard for the centre S's, turning in, hitting the first apex and lining it up nicely to make sure he gets a fantastic exit onto the Retta Aposta, the longest straight on this particular track, where we'll see plenty of overtakes happening as he brakes into Decina Galago, turn 4, and then loops back for turn 5, so he almost he kind of turns almost 180 degrees before he then makes his run up the hill into turn 6 and 7, which he reaches now hard on the brakes for that 8th corner before he turns back left for turn 9. Again, desperately hugging the inside, trying to find some traction in this tight and twisty middle sector with turn 10, leading into the high speed turn 11 before he's going to have to find the brakes yet again for turn 12. And then he's going to be hard on the power through turn 13, and foot will be flat to the floor for the run to the line then for Frosted Cheese. What time is the Aston Martin going to deliver? A 1:08.5. That's a pretty good lap time, if I do say so myself. Mr. Business will be next to cross the line. He goes even faster with a 1:08.4 rather than a 1:08.5. We're then going to be seeing Fuzzle coming across the line next. He had a pretty good attempt, actually, there in Q2. Let's see if he can best that time here and take provisional pole position. No, he can't. It's a 1:08.5 only for him. D10 then will be next across the line. I think he actually had an invalid lap. And there's Shakos with a 1:08.0. El Nino with a 1:08.3 now. They're all coming across the line. Martins, 1:08.1. Only about a tenth away from Shakos. He could be perhaps challenging come the next couple of... in the next lap. A 1:08.4 coming out for Power GT, who now moves up into that P4. The championship leader, Liam Puelda, putting in a 1:08.114, 4 thousandths away from Martins, who currently sits on the front row. And that's a pretty good first set of laps. I'm wondering if tech support only has one set of tyres, or he's just come out late to try and be fancy or something. I don't know. We'll see. He's out of sync with the rest of the field. Perhaps Mercedes, well, they're not going to be trying the slipstream strategy this time around. But we're going to see with D10 where he can put this car in. Validated his first lap, but luckily had enough time to recover, and it will be going again. He does have a Mercedes to give him a lovely slipstream coming down this straight. He's going to utilise that to the fullest as he then comes round the final corner. D10 to the line. It's P4 for him with a 1:08.169. A wonderful last 2 digits of that number. And well, that's a pretty good first few laps. Of course, we've still got tech support in the Mercedes, who we're going to ride on board with for this lap as he comes through very early on in his attempt, moving into turn 10 now in that middle part of the lap. I think, he gets pretty slidey on the rear of the car, on the power, struggling to control the insane amount of torque and horsepower that these cars deliver. There is nothing quite like driving a Formula 1 car right on the limit, right on the edge. DRS are open, ERS deploying, tech support to the line. In P9 only for him with a 1085. To be fair, only about half a second between P1 and P10. It is looking pretty close out there. Let's put it that way. And everybody is now into the pit lane. Well, everyone will be in the pit lane and will be going in a couple of laps time. Oh my goodness. Wow, that was an interesting first part of the lap. The Mercedes, that looked pretty good. They're not looking so hot in the first part of Q3. Of course, everyone's Mr. Business was actually on a used set of tyres. So too was D10. So I expect them to have some pretty good, some pretty good life left in them. And well, let us see what happens. Oh, and we've already got Frosted Cheese out on the circuit yet again with 5.5 minutes left to go. So Frosted is definitely going to be playing the safer game here. He's deciding, okay, I'll just go out a bit earlier, have some time. Okay, let's say I fluff up my first lap and I invalidate, or I go wide, or I lose a lot of time. I've still got time to sort of take a chill pill, reset, get ready for another attempt, have time to recharge and recuperate. And I think that's a good move if you're a little bit further down, because you just need to get a better lap in, and giving yourself the most amount of time to do that is probably the best case scenario. If I was Shakos, I would not be doing this, because I need pure time. I need the best tyre conditions possible and the best track conditions possible. Whereas, Frosted Cheese doesn't quite have as much pressure as Shakos might have, or someone further up the order might have, and he just needs to make sure he gets something in, because he is far down the order, but he's not that far off the pace. That's just how close it is out there this evening, and it's going to be a very, very exciting 50% race around Brazil. I think it's 71 laps in real life, so we're probably going to be seeing about 35, 36 laps. I don't know if their game rounds up or down. I can't remember off the top of my head. Do you know, Numi, if they round it up or down? If the lap counters uneven? Up, okay. Up. So we'll see 36 laps.
Monaco's like 40 laps or something. No, it's 20 and 25%. 39. Frosted Cheese comes in.
He comes in. Interesting. Well, you've got El Nino out there, the sole Red Bull, actually, in Q3. In fact, actually rather interesting, Mercedes are the only constructor that have got two cars in the top 10. The missing constructor is AlphaTauri, who I only think have got L plan with them this evening.
And Haas.
But Haas was out of Q1. What team has only got one driver? I don't know. It's I think
Ferrari. Ferrari.
I don't know. Well, Nino is going to be taking another warm-up lap here. Ooh, utilizing.
I haven't seen another one.
We'll find out when we get to the race, let's put it that way. So Power GT then, I think, is actually going to be the next driver to set a flying lap here. Of course, we've got El Nino, who is actually, yes, on a flyer, but he's not deploying any ERS, so he will not be improving compared to previous times he has done. But Power GT, he is deploying that. Oh no, he's backed off his lap already. Frosted Cheese retires. He thinks he's not. That's interesting from Frosted Cheese.
No tyre sets?
Maybe, but that set that he just had wasn't that used. He could have gone back out on those.
I don't know, I'm not in Frosted Cheese's mind, I don't know.
Well, we don't know, you might be. But yeah, no, we have that's unfortunate for Frosted Cheese. He could have found himself up the order quite a lot. He had some more pace definitely left in that car. But D10 now will be the next to actually set a representative flying lap in this session. Of course, Power GT backed off. El Nino's backed off. Well, he didn't even start. But D10 is powering along and will be looking to take provisional pole position off the mighty Shakos's hands, who is still, by the way, not yet on an outlap. He's got to get out quickly, or he's not going to have enough time.
He's on his way out now.
Oh, he's on his way out. So he'll be definitely the last.
Lap, so he's got plenty of time.
Yeah, of course.
He's got 20 seconds in hand, basically.
D10 goes to provisional pole with a 1:07.9. That's a good lap from him. That should see hit. That's a decent advantage out on Shakos, and Shakos will only be having one crack at it.
It's 200ths of a second. 24,000.
And D10, that's all he can do. Right, let's see who else is. I think we're actually going to see Fuzzle then coming to the line next to set a flying lap. After that, we're going to jump straight to El Nino, who is just behind him on a flyer. Fuzzle to the line now. Goes up into P5, a 4/10 improvement. That's a good effort from him. Let's see El Nino, who is only currently 0.2 of a second up, but that could see him ahead of Fuzzle. It doesn't. He does not improve enough to jump ahead of any other driver. I think we've got Mr. Business, who has just set a time that is only good enough for P7 then. Power GT, this will be his final flying lap of the evening. He remains in P8 then with only a 600th improvement. That's Shakos on his outlap then. Liam Walder, the current championship leader, just edging his way through that second sector at the moment. Only about 800ths up currently, but that could see him definitely jump ahead of Martins, but not quite ahead of Shakos. He's got to find even more time as he now rounds through turn 15. Liam Walder in the McLaren. He does find time, but not enough to displace D10, and he currently sits P2 then.
Shakos is a 10 up though, in the first sector.
Indeed he is, but tech support, look at the slipstream he's getting. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him fly up the order now. Tech support up into P4, a good effort, and he got a nice slipstream as Martins goes to provisional pole by 0.3 of a second. That's a big margin for Shakos to make up. I'm not sure if... let's see how much Shakos is up by. 0.3 as well. That's not enough, though. He needs 0.4 compared to Martins. I think we might see Shakos away from pole.
He needs 400ths of a second in this last sector.
They're so close. Let's see. Is Shakos able to take pole position back? No, he's not. No. Martins is on pole position. We did not see that one coming. By about 600ths of a second. Shakos is unfortunately not on pole. Wow, what a lap from Martins, and we didn't catch any of it from the Alfa Romeo, who sits on pole position for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Shakos in P2 with D10 P3, Liam Boulder, your championship leader P4, Tech Support P5, Fuzzle P6, El Nino P7, P8 for Mr. Business, P9 for Power GT, and P10 for Frosted Cheese. Wow, that was an intense final bit of qualifying.
D10 was never on provisional pole.
Oh no, because he does. Yeah, I just realised now as well. Well, we'll be starting in about 4 minutes' time.
Liam Walder in third.
Perhaps a little mystified at how those guys were so fast. I would be too. They are just honestly incredible, just squeezing out just that little bit of extra performance. It's yeah. Well, an interesting end to qualifying then, and I for one I'm very excited to get going for this session then. Oh, Naomi, I'll let you do the Wikipedia rundown, as always. If Numi's there, we'll let him do the wiki rundown.
What?
We'll let you do the Wikipedia rundown.
What about me? What? I just... What happened?
Do the Wikipedia rundown, please.
Oh. Oh, a load of people have wet setups on, and it's not wet. Okay. Right, here's the lone team member. As Williams. How GT and Williams. Because we don't have BPA, sir. I've not been on Wikipedia in about 3 months.
Now's the time, unless you have exquisite circuit knowledge and exceptional knowledge of Brazil.
2008 happened.
Were you even born then?
No. Give it another 8 months, I would have been.
To be honest, most people in the league were far too young to remember it.
Yeah, but most of them would have at least been alive.
Yeah.
So it's gonna get cloud over then, rain towards the end. Last 2 bars of rain. On the weather thing. 3 of it's sunny, cloudy, and then it's just cloudy, and then it's rain.
What, there's going to be some rain coming at the end of the session?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh wait, I got DM. Ooh, look at that.
That's probably from Minotaur's giving you the weather.
Oh, I didn't get it though.
No. Oh.
I'm not loved.
There you go.
Oh, I've got the weather. Beautiful. That seems like typical British weather. So it's going to get pretty spicy towards the end.
Wait, let me... give me a second. Let me show you what actual British weather is. Open with Microsoft Paint. You're not ready for this.
My goodness, I'm not. I wish I could show what I'm seeing. Oh well, we're going. You better be fast. Paint quickly. Paint quickly.
I don't worry.
If you're just tuning in, we are
Microsoft Painting.
Yeah, because they made us have a long break. But it's long enough where you can't talk for that long, but it's too short to do anything productive. So we're just sat and annoying people who are watching the stream. Sorry guys, we love you. Right.
There we go.
I will describe in detail what I see. But before that happens, I'm going to go through and run through those tyres. Oh my goodness.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Don't diss my drawing.
It is beautiful. So you've got half sunny, half rainy, then half sunny, half cloudy, then half rainy, half sunny, then just cloudy, then Zeus levels of thunderstorms before which cloudy, and then just a bit of rain just to finish it off. But Numi, take us through the tyres of the grid today then.
Oh. So got the front 2 both stuck on the hard compound, then there's Limb Border, and third going with the mediums, hards and mediums all across the board. It's textbook on the hards, followed by his teammate Fazal going with the mediums, and Sage splitting their strategies. El Nino with the hards that missed a business with the mediums, D10 with the hard Power GT mediums, then Frosted Cheese, Genius, Jim Petflat all on the hard, sorry. Then it's El Plan on the medium, Jay-Z on the hards, Pyro medium, Zakis Beast and Hearts both going for the hard, Untos going for the mediums, and Sweatback Flame starting from the back on the hard compound. Sorry, there's not much alteration in strategy.
No, certainly not.
It's just going to be a medium hard or hard medium one stop.
We will see how safety cars and how the rain plays into it. I think perhaps a medium soft might be what a few of the drivers will do, because whenever that rain comes, if they're on softs, or maybe it might be a medium. Yeah, that could also be
really risky though, in case the rain doesn't come.
Yeah, that as well. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, let's just see how it does happen. And of course, we've got Martinez.
No, the forecast on perfect. No, there is a guarantee that it comes.
Oh, so there's rain. Great. So yeah, I think medium might be the option. Guys on hard, they might try and perhaps take the hards all the way to the weather. We might see that. This is gonna, with the rain, it's gonna make it interesting to see what everybody actually does. But then we get ready for the grid to form up. We've got everybody in their slots. We're just waiting for the lights to turn red before we can get running here. We've got 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. Then the lights were very quick to turn off, and it doesn't look like Martinez got a particular. It looks like he got an okay start, but Shakos isn't quite alongside him coming into turn 1. But he's got Liam Boulder on his outside, and that outside line becomes the inside line for the championship leader, who takes that position away from Shakos off the start. Everybody else seems to have filed through fairly well behaved. And look at Liam Boulder at the front, going for the lead of the race already. Liam Boulder takes the lead coming into turn 4. Martinez almost thinks about fighting back, but the McLaren leads coming up the hill for the first time. D10's making a position up on tech support. He's cutting his way through the field after his 5-place grid penalty, although that tech support has gone back down the inside coming into turn 6. And now the Mercedes is back up into P5 with D10 unfortunately having to fall down to P6. More position changes slightly further back with Giannucci and Pyro battling away the hards, not responding as well to these early intense. There's a bit of contact in the background I saw with El Plan running into the back of someone. Jay-Z's fallen down to P15. They're going wheel to wheel, coming through. That's more contact. Jay-Z, how has he not spun round there? He's on the inside of Unitos, who tries to find his way around him, but unfortunately he cannot do so. I think now Giannucci making his way ahead of Petterflat. He's going to be right in the slipstream of Pyro, but has to pull to the outside to get ahead of him. They're almost 3 wide with Frosted I'm not sure. I think that might actually be Petterflat, not Frosted Cheese. They go wheel to wheel into the first corner. The standings kind of blocking who's where on the circuit, but that's Giannucci now up into P11. Petterflat in P12 has now got Pyro right behind him. El Plan always in the background there as well. No one making any overtakes coming into turn 4 this time around. But that was an intense first couple of laps here, and now we're going to start to see the field spread out just a little bit more than they might have done before. Pyro almost making contact with the Aston Martin. I'm wondering if there was perhaps a little bit of rubbing there between the two of them. They were so close together. Looks like Unitos fighting away with Zaki's Beast, trying to get ahead of Jay-Z, but it doesn't look like anybody actually went around. We saw Jay-Z get very, very close, but I don't think anyone picked up damage. Nobody went round. It's just a lot of hard-fought battling with Liam Buelda burning through pretty much all of his ERS, but he is a second clear of Martinez and Shakos. Wow, that was a good start from Liam Buelda, although he has used all of his ERS. He's on about 6% now. Which is less than ideal. We look further back though where the battle is, almost 3 wide into turn 1. Pyro, I think what happened there, I think Petterflat, he went ghosted, so I'm wondering if he had some contact. He's now right in the back, right in the back of this pack, and there's Zaki's Beast trying to go round the outside, and then you've got Sweatback Flame on the inside. He's got nowhere to go. DRS is active. We actually see Unitos fighting away with Jay-Z. They're late on the brakes. Jay-Z on the inside of Pyro, who's forced a little bit wide, who gets all shaky on the exit of turn 5. It's all kicking off as they come up the hill now for yet another time. Coming up into turn 6, there's Jay-Z on the inside. He's going to go on the inside of Pyro as well. A little bit of contact forces Pyro wide, but Pyro's late on the brakes and almost forces Jay-Z in a slight spin. Well, he does have a slight spin, even more contact with Sweatback Flame. It's like bumper cars out there right at the back of the circuit. Cars going everywhere. I'm surprised there hasn't been any damage or any collisions yet, but Pyro finds himself in P18.
Pyro and Jay-Z made contact, but that goes round. He's jumped his car in the air, but he's still in a straight line.
Oh, that's who's that off the track? It's Jay-Z. Jay-Z has been bumped and bashed.
Up the hill with Pyro and Jay-Z. So Pyro got past Jay-Z, then got out of shape up the hill, and Jay-Z kind of pushed him a bit wide, and then JC was on the inside. There's contact with Pyro. There's contact again with Petaflat there. There's contact with Pyro and Jay-Z, which made Jay-Z almost spin. Pyro had an illegal overtake on the Red Bull, had to back off to get that one back, by the looks of things. And then there was just overtakes and contact basically wherever you look.
Yeah, it was pretty intense towards the back of the field. In fact, so intense we haven't even thought about what's been going on in the top 10, and it's been relatively stable and calm for these guys at the front. Nothing much been happening. Liam Boulder now starting to gain some ERS back on his competitors. So he drained a lot of the start, and look at this, Shakos perhaps coming into the clutches of Fuzzle on those mediums, so those mediums actually looking like they're pretty good at the moment. Plenty of screaming and shouting from the commentary box, that's for sure. Let's see if it calms down a little bit now. With a bit of contact and a few collisions, those back runners are fairly more spaced out than perhaps they would have been. But of course we've got the DRS active. There's Power GT making his way ahead of Tech Sport then into turn 1. Those hards are definitely not that fast at the start. I'm sure they'll come into their own a little bit later on, but those mediums looking pretty good at the moment then, as Tech Support cannot get ahead of Power GT. A bit of double DRS for him, not assisting enough to get ahead of anybody on the circuit. But well, I look around and I see nice and calm up here, and
I look around on board with Petaflat and see Hearts teleport through me.
My goodness. Yeah,
Hearts having a massive, I think that was 5/10 lost with a lag back.
My goodness, it's just a bit of a war zone back there. I think we're going to stay away from there for now so we don't get too shouty. He was
comfortably ahead and then he was comfortably behind in the span of like 2 frames.
Well, only Hearts can do that. So we look for yet another lap now, with Martins of course not got the DRS of Leon Boulder and now struggling with his ERS himself. Shackles is inside that DRS, and that's going to make it a bit more difficult for Fuzzle to get ahead and pass the Haas driver, of course, as he doesn't quite have the straight line speed to do so. I'm wondering if we've just seen a move there between El Plan and Frosted Cheese.
Yeah,
Frosted Cheese perhaps trying to fight this one back. He pulls to the outside, coming down the Retro-Apostle
really
now.
On the rear as well.
Indeed he did. On the inside, can Alplan defend this one? Frosted Cheese swoops around the outside to take that position away from Alplan, or take that position back from Alplan, should I add. And he's up into P11. Pyro fighting with Sweatback Flame. So it looks like Sweatback was well off the circuit there on the exit of turn 5 of the Xena de Largo. And that was, yeah, these two have been fighting around. I'm sure we'll see a few tickets dropped in for the stewards for that one. I think Tier 2 last night had a lot of tickets. So
9.
Stewards will be busy then.
And about 4 of them were Hearts. Tom made one with 8 clips and like of the same incident.
Only on. But here we go then for Shakos and on Martins then, the Haas driver ahead of the Alfa Romeo who took pole position, and he can now perhaps start to chase after Liam Boulder, who has been in a bit of a world of his own at the front, just kind of controlling the pace, managing those tyres, managing that ERS after he burnt quite a lot of it in the early phases of the race. But now I would suspect that we're going to see Martins perhaps drop off a little bit from Shackles at the front, and then
Martinez is on a wet setup.
That might be why he's so slow. And yeah, so he's going to drop off of Shakos into the clutches of Fuzzle, who's going to get past in the next couple of laps or so once that DRS is eliminated for the Alfa Romeo in front. But there's Mr. Business picking up the first time penalty of the evening then, 3 seconds for him. He's on those medium compound of tyres at the moment and is trying to get past El Nino, who is himself stuck behind Tech Support, who's got some DRS from Power GT in front, who isn't quite fast enough to get onto the back of D10, who is currently 3rd place on the hard compound tyre running cars. Of course, Shakos leading that group. But it's going to get pretty spicy here, and it's going to be interesting to see when that crossover period between the mediums and the hards does occur, and if we will see Shakos take the lead of the race at some point. But we did just see that Giannuzzi ahead of Mr. Business then. I'm wondering if some mediums are starting to go off a little bit compared to the hards. The hards starting to come into their own just a little bit more as the race has gone on, as they've warmed up, as the tyre wears started to kick in a little bit for those mediums. It's really improving the life on the hard, or the pace on the hard compound tyres comparatively to the rest of the field. Giannuzzi proving that by making that move on the Alpine for P10, well for P9, sorry. And now we're going to start to see. I mean, Power GT's losing quite a bit of time to D10 in front. Are we going to start to see? I mean, we've seen Chakos reel in Leon Bualda quite a reasonable amount over the last couple of laps. So I think it's sort of up to chance a little bit to see where and who and exactly at what period of time we start to see those mediums cross over into being worse than the hards. And I don't think we'll be waiting too long to do that. It's already 1.3 seconds down between Chakos and Power GT, fighting away with tech support. Tech support looked for a move there, but unfortunately wasn't quite able to get it. And he's got El Nino right on the rear of him, desperate to try and find some space and try and find a way around him. Tech support pulls to the outside as Power GT aggressively defends the inside line. He slots in between the two hard running tyres, splitting them in half. And tech support now up into P6. So I'm wondering, those hards seem to be at a better stage than they've ever been in this Grand Prix so far. Let's see exactly how long that they'll be able to go before they themselves start to go off. Power GT going very deep onto the brakes. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2.
Frosted. That's
Frosted Cheese round on the embankment. Doesn't look like he's got any damage. I think he's just gone perhaps a little bit too hard into turn 5, just coming up the hill. He's all the way on the outside now. Perhaps his teammate might also get past him as well. Oh, they're wheel to wheel on the two Aston Martins. A little bit of contact between the two of them. But Petter Flat does get ahead of his teammate, who will of course be struggling straight off the grass on those tyres. Warm tyres, grassy tyres. Oh, Petter Flat getting very wide, and that almost allows his teammate back ahead of him. He did a good job not to find the wall there. As look at this, Frosted Cheese going back down the inside of his teammate then. After Petter had a big old wobble in the Aston Martins. So those cars proving relatively difficult to drive. But here we go then, Petter Flat fighting back against his teammate here on the inside yet again. We move further up the order there, where Power GT has managed to get ahead of tech support, who has lost a place to Giannuzzi. This is like a pretty big four-man squabble here, with El Nino also getting involved and ahead of tech support as well. Oh no! Looks like Power GT's got a bit deep.
Oh
no, there's contact.
El Nino round.
Yeah, El Nino's round. El Nino's round. And that's allowed Mr. Business up and ahead into P9, tech support into P8. But Power went... that was a interesting sequence. Wondering if anybody has any damage from that. I don't see any damage. Tech support definitely will have picked up a track limit warning there. Perhaps he's suffering with a bit of understeer. Did tech support go into the back of El Nino there?
I don't think he did. I think El Nino tried to dive bomb Power GT and spun himself around.
Well, that's certainly interesting. And, that puts El Nino down in P10, and he's got a long way to catch these guys yet again. Down to the rear of this train and try and make some overtakes in the race. Power GT looks to the outside, but isn't quite close enough to Giannuzzi this time. Although he's going to try and cut back on the inside of the Welshman, but it is almost going to work. Power GT now has the outside. He's just inching close to being alongside him with his front wheels to Giannuzzi's rear wheels. It's so close. So Giannuzzi not actually entitled to give him any space if he did send one to the inside, but Power GT is a sensible driver and will not. Chakos has actually broken into the DRS of Liam Bualda then here on lap 11. We are over a quarter of the way through the Grand Prix now. Only about 7 laps until we reach the halfway mark. Looks like Unitos has been passed by Pyro. Pyro just coming to the back of Sack is Beast. So
Chakos has got past Liam.
He has. Wow. He gained a lot of time on that straight. Liam was like 9/10, I didn't quite expect him to lose that much time, but perhaps Liam got a poor exit coming out of the final corner, I'm wondering, but he pulls to the outside now, going to try and go back around the outside of Chakos. He makes that move work this time around, regaining that lead, but is he just going to be doing himself more harm? staying out there and fighting away with leaders who are much, much faster than him at this stage because of the tyres? Or is he going to defend for his life and perhaps try and wait for this rain to come? Because it's getting cloudy out there, but there's still spots of sunshine around this circuit, so it's going to be a fair few laps before we start to see some rain. But maybe it's going to be enough where the hards will not have to make a stop. But we'll just see. So I think, judging off the conditions, what they look like at the moment, if I was medium, I would box for a set of softs at some point. If I was hards, I'd stick it out until the rain comes.
There goes Shakos.
There we go then. Shakos to the inside of Liam Wilder. That's a nice easy DRS overtake for the Haas driver. Those hards definitely working a lot better than the mediums at this stage of the Grand Prix. And Liam, though, still fighting out. He's got a great exit coming out of the centre S's. And now in the Retro Aposto, sits right in the slipstream of the Haas. Pulls to the outside. He's going to make the same move again. And Liam Wilder does retake that lead again, and he's pushing Shakos into the clutches of Martins, who is actually right on the back of the Haas. And I thought for a second he was going to look to the outside or to the inside when they make their way up the hill into the high-speed right-hander, but he didn't, which was interesting. Martins still staying behind the Haas driver at the moment then. And I think this is what Liam's tactic is: back them up and hope that I don't get past until I need to box. And it's actually worked so far, because now Shakos is under some pretty big pressure.
He's all the way out of shape in the last corner.
Yeah, he is.
Pick up Fuzzle even before the DRS activation. He's already alongside.
Yeah, I don't know if Shakos is going to quite get this move done into turn one this time on Liam Board. I know he's not. Zach is beast. Where is he on the circuit? He's
just going onto the straight now. He just went around at the final couple of corners.
I'm wondering if Shakos will do what Liam Boarder has done to him the last couple of laps and go round the outside into turn 4. They're still going to be wheel to wheel the whole way around the corner. Shakos pinned to the outside, nowhere to go. And Liam Boarder defends valiantly, but here we go. Shakos almost thought about a move to the inside as they make their way up the hill, up the right-hander now. And Liam Boarder defends his position yet again.
No! He's got a pan the rear from Martinez. He's almost been spun round. And now they're side by side. Ooh. He almost lost the position. But now he's out of DRS range to Liam Boarder.
What happened there with Shakos? I wasn't even paying attention.
He got a thump in the rear from Martinez.
My goodness, so Martinez far too late on the brake pedal there. And actually, he might be overtaking Shakos here. Yes, he is. As they make their way through turn 15, that's Martinez ahead of Shakos. But Shakos will be looking to fight this move back as they make their way out of the centre S's and into the Retro Aposta. I think he'll feel that was a relatively unfair overtake. But this is the thing, it'll be very hard to please because Martinez didn't actually push him to pass him. It just aided in it, but it didn't actually make the overtake. So that can't really result in much action, if I'm being completely honest. But there we go then. Liam Boarder, I think his dreams have come true. So he can kind of relax a little bit more now, and he knows he's got probably another couple of laps before they get back in the DRS. It might be 1 lap, it might be 2 laps, probably might be even this lap. But he's had some time to recharge his battery, which it will be this lap, but he's had some time to recharge that battery so he can defend like he has been doing so valiantly through the last couple of laps here. And the Dutch soldier will march on and on and on until he has to make his pit stop. No sign of anybody actually pitting, as we're almost close to that halfway mark, and nobody has decided to come into the box yet, which is interesting. I'm wondering if they are sticking it out to the wets, all of them, because it almost seems like, especially with the cloud cover that we've got now, you'd be into the pit lane, maybe do your outlap and a couple of laps and not get anywhere near the hard runners, and then you'll be straight back in again for a set of inters. So we'll see how it does play out, of course, and if my prediction does come true there, and we see guys sticking out to the end on a set of medium compound tyres. I think we'll have to wait and find out about that one. But Unitos and Pyro looked like they were fighting and squabbling away. Had an interesting exchange in after qualifying, and it was noted that they should not get near each other on track. But what have they done? Get near each other on the track. Fate has befell them as we move back to the front of the field. Then Liam Boulder might not have as much defence this time coming down the main straight. Doesn't use any of that ERS, but Martinez is smart in not attacking into that first corner to allow Liam space to defend and time to assess his attacking options as Power GT's into the pit lane. But then Liam Boulder will have no defence this time. Martinez pulls to the outside. Liam is going to have that inside line. They're rubbing wheels. They're wheel to wheel. Can Alfa Romeo sticky around the outside? No, he can't quite on Liam Boulder as Liam retains that position for yet another lap. I don't know how he's doing this, but he is honestly doing a cracking job out front, just holding station and slowing the rest of the field down and not allowing those hard runners to really stretch their legs on him and have an advantage of deciding when they want to pit. Having that bit of a gap over him. And, well, we saw the first of the medium runners in Power GT Hards. That's an interesting choice. Perhaps he knows that there's time for...
Oh, Zach has beaten off. He's in the wall as well.
Indeed he is. Is there going to be damage? There's a front right end plate missing.
Liam Waters in.
Liam's in. Let's see what tyre Liam picks, because so far Power GT's picked hards, Sweatback Flames picked up some mediums. Liam Boulder, he's going hard. Interesting choice. So perhaps the rain is holding off for a fair few laps. I would say that rain must be about a good amount of laps away. For Liam, maybe like 12 laps away. So it's going to be right at the end. So are those hards going to last? I don't think they are. But interesting strategy call to make that pit lane box. Pyro still fighting away with Unitos. Those two that's going to end in a crash. Mark my words. That is not going to be pretty. Zachary Speed retires into the pit lane then, deciding he's had enough of it this evening. And leaves the session as well in a fit of rage.
There were slightly nicer ways to phrase that.
He did not. He probably wasn't raging. He was certainly not in a fit of rage. But he was probably just like a little bit annoyed and just couldn't be bothered. But then Fuzzle into the pit lane. Then we gotta make it seem like he was completely angry. Broke 35 monitors as Jay-Z out. Safety car. Where's Jay-Z crashed? He's crashed in the middle sector. That's turn 10.
I'm trying to see it from Swap. Oh, he's in the middle of the track. That's the hairpin. I don't know the name of it or the number.
Turn 10.
It's the one where Hound and Albon had the collision.
Yeah, that's 10. Mr. Business has gone on softs. I have no idea what is going to happen. I have no idea when the rain's coming, anything like that. We don't know exactly, so it's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, it's perfect timing for Power GT, Liam Boulder, and Fuzzle, who have all made stops under safety car. In fact, that's actually really benefited Fuzzle, who gained a place on Liam, despite the fact he pitted later on. Well,
Martinez is sped in the pit lane.
Oh, Sweatback's retired. Sweatback's retired.
Has he hit the safety car again? He got a drive-through for speeding under safety car.
Oh,
now Shackles will be in the net race lead. Martinez has gone for the softs. Shackles goes out for mediums in the net race lead now.
Something's happened.
Look at Fuzzle. Is he?
Fuzzle's on hards. Is he going to take... He's going to... Oh, is he gonna, yeah, he's going to take Shakos. Liam boxed again, by the way, for mediums. I think... I'm not sure what happened between Sweatback Flame, but I think Petter Flat was somehow involved. Because Sweatback's apologising to him. I'm honestly trying to figure out what is happening. Sweatback saying his setup was bad. I still am completely lost at what is going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
That safety car literally came out at the worst time for the guys on the medium tyres. Let's put it that way. So Sweatback retired on the circuit, but
That's changing his wing.
Yeah, he went into the back of Sweatback Flame. Jay-Z, we know he smashed into a wall. But I'm going to leave you in the capable hands whilst I use the lavatories.
Oh. Alright, Martinez is sitting out in front then on the soft tyres, but he has that 5-second time penalty. Fuzzle. Is that rain started to fall? I don't think so. No, doesn't appear to be rain. So, well, there will be rain at some point in the race. So Martinez out front from Fuzzle and Shakos. And Power GT and Tech Support, Mr. Business, Giannuzzi, D10, El Nino, El Plan, Liam Bullwalder down in 11th. He started first, and after the pit stop phase, he's now down in 11th. That's Unitos, Frosted Cheese, Hearts, Pyro, and Petaflat. So we just gotta say to car restart, should be in a lap or two. Can't confirm when the safety car will come back in, but it should be before too long. Petter Flat will hope it's later rather than sooner.
Oh, facilities used, ready to go again. So Sweatback just quit.
Yeah.
Jay-Z hit the wall. Well, let's see how this goes when we get going again. When we get going again. Well, my goodness. Let's actually lock in and focus again. Right. So, Martins will lead us away then. He's on the soft compound of tyres. Fuzzle on hards, which is going to be interesting to see how that plays out for him. I mean, if the rain comes a little bit, like it comes within the next couple of laps, I can see for Fuzzle it would work because he wouldn't be passed by that many people because his hards are fresh, they're not old, so he's going to have some pace and he's not going to get passed by everyone, but he'll lose some positions before they box. But if it's a while, he's going to suffer. Because literally everybody else was on either soft or mediums. Very few on softs, so that's why I'm thinking it's going to be a bit of time before that rain actually does arrive, because otherwise they would have done the softs as well. But I'm also debating whether those softs even are good because no one else has gone onto them. But then Martinez 5 seconds, Mr. Business with 8 seconds of penalties as well. Let's see how this safety car restart plays out. I cannot shout as loud as I got told off for my parents not being able to hear the TV, which is less than ideal considering I've got my door closed and I'm a whole story up.
I've not been told off for commentating yet, but here we go for the safety car restart.
So here we go then, looks like a good start from Martinez. Fuzzle also getting away fairly well. Power GT though could be under some pressure as they make their way into turn 1. Looks like Tech Support thinking about a way to find round the outside, but unfortunately wasn't quite able to do so. Everyone else filing through very nicely. Giannucci right on the back of Mr. Business as they make their way through round into the Retta Aposta now. The Haas car on the inside. Is he going to make this move work? Yes he is. Oh, there's a bit of contact. We get a terrible angle. Mr. Business goes wide, allows D10 to slot back down the inside as well, although the Alpine is going to try and fight this one into turn 5. Unfortunately cannot make it work though. Who else made positions? I think Frosted Cheese, and then look at that, Pyro on the inside of Frosted Cheese. That was a suicidal dive. Oh, that's really aggressive from Pyro. I'm not really sure what the stewards are going to say about that one, but we've got Unitos batting away with Frosted Cheese in the front as well. Frosted on the outside, Pyro, a Ferrari of Unitos muscling his way through the middle, desperate to try and find a way. This rear pack struggle is mighty onto the grass with Frosted Cheese forced by Pyro. That allows Unitos to slip back down the inside as well. But whilst this is happening at the back, Shakos has got ahead of Fuzzle, but we're going to switch straight back to this fight because it's going to be pretty intense between all of these guys. Petaflat and his teammate battling away. Unitos blocking Frosted Cheese the best he can, allows Petaflat to go round the outside of his own teammate, and it is all kicking off right at the back where the intense fighting is, but it's also kicking off at the front with two teammates switching positions, with now Tech Support ahead of Fuzzle, and Tech Support, who does have a 3-second time penalty, is now up into P4 right behind Power GT, who is also on hard, but slightly older hard compared to a lot of the other drivers out on there on the grid, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Mercedes gets past him very, very quickly in the next lap or two, as D10 and Giannucci are going to fight wheel to wheel as they make their way on the exit of turn 8 into 9. There's a bit of contact, D10 going into the back of Fuzzle, but it's such light contact that no damage, no spin, no real effect of performance is going to be impacted there, as we are on lap 24 with about 12 laps to go. Rain imminent on the horizon as Power GT has got the outside line with Tech Support sending onto the inside. Through turn 15 they go onto the back straight, onto the pit straight should I add, as Tech Support makes that move work. Power GT is pretty much going to be defenceless against these whole slew of drivers who have got an almighty set of fresher tyres, softer tyres compared to the guys in front of them, and it could get pretty bloodbathy. That's not a word at all. As they make their way through turn 6, through turn 4 and turn 5, the corners are all fused together with just intense wheel-to-wheel action between all 16 drivers that remain on the field. Unfortunately, the Trout for Taris, D10 thinks to the inside on Fuzzle. That inside now becomes the outside as they make their way through turn 9. Now it's all the way on the outside. What the how has AR joined? The inside now belongs to D10. The outside, that outside becomes the inside for Fuzzles. The Mercedes and Ferrari battle their way through the whole way through this third and final sector of the circuit. The Mercedes back on the inside line has retained that position, but D10 is right on the back of him in the Ferrari. Fuzzle almost nowhere to go, no defence left against the superior grip of these medium compound tyres, but now he's going to slip back in the slipstream of D10. They're going to go back almost wheel to wheel into turn 1, but Fuzzle relinquishes P5 away from D10. That was so intense for the rest of that lap, as Pyro picks up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits as well then. But look at Liam Boulder on the back of Fuzzle. Is he going to send one to the inside into turn 4? He thought about it for a moment, but wasn't quite close enough to do so, and Fuzzle remains in P6, but under pressure from Liam. He's desperate for this rain to come. I'm sure Power GT is also desperate for the rain to come, but he's doing a better job at holding off the rest of the field. I think the lack of battling has helped him a little bit more. Who was that round? I think it was Mr. Business. I think Mr. Business on the softs was round. He's now lost another position to Haas. I think those soft tyres have really gone off and are really not working well. I also do believe that the advert that's on the stream, one of 5 ads for me, is also not doing us very much help. This is like a really intense section, and there's literally negative audio, which is
free money, so
we can make 20 cents yet again. But then looking a little bit further back with Pyro, Unitos, Unitos and Petter Flat going wheel to wheel. Oh, we're going to go back to this one. Fuzzle, I think Liam has just made that move ahead of Fuzzle. It's so hard to pick whatever battles to go to because there's just so many all around the racing circuit. And there's Fuzzle. Now with Giannuzzi, the Haas driver on the inside of the Mercedes, gets that move work. Is Giannuzzi going to think about one on Liam? He had so much straight line speed, he always thought about it. Fuzzle tries to make the cut back on Giannuzzi, but runs into the back of him in the process. Luckily not sending the Welshman spinning into the wall, which I think he is rather thankful for. Let's put it that way. So looking further at the front, Martinez is doing a really good job. I'm just trying to see.
Contacting Unitos and Frosted Cheese up the hill.
My goodness, those two now. The Aston Martin in the
front facing the right direction. There's been so much wheel banging going on.
My goodness,
an Aston Martin sandwich, and then Frosted Cheese tried to get past him, but then he got boxed in by his own teammate. It's all kicking off there. Frosted Cheese.
Oh, they just get so close together, but Unitos does retain that position at the moment. We just saw D10 get ahead of Power GT, but that was a DRS overtake. That is completely irrelevant.
None of them have DRS somehow.
As here we go with.
Oh, they got Liam Walder down the inside of them both. There's contact D10 and Power GT as well. They're side by side, and now they got Giannuzzi waiting in the wings.
Indeed he is. Are they gonna make it 3 wide coming down the Retro-Aposta here? We've got Power GT right in the slipstream with Liam Boyd, who's going to try to go around the outside despite the age of his hard compound tyres. But Liam, like he has done so many times so far this race, manages to hold that position ahead. But Giannuzzi and D10 looking like they could be going wheel to wheel at some point around. There's just so much action. There's that D10 to the inside. He sent a move on Power GT, but unfortunately it didn't quite pay off. It might actually lead him to losing a position to Giannuzzi. Fuzzle actually now regaining some traction in the background, finding some more time. In fact, Pyro is going to be El Nino and Pyro are going to be right on the back of this battle very shortly, and then we're going to see Petter Flat and that intense squabble also leading onto the rack of this train. Power GT though, I don't think he's got much defence against D10 this time around, as D10 makes that move before they even reach the DRS zone, as DRS will be active for the Ferrari driver, but slipstream, is that going to be more beneficial for Power GT? He's got no straight line speed. They're going to go 3 wide coming into the first corner. Giannuzzi gets past the pair of them almost, but D10 somehow slips down the inside, although he gets a little bit shaky on the exit of the centre S's, and Giannuzzi with some great straight line speed, some great traction, is on the inside of the Ferrari driver this time around, and the Haas makes his way up into P5. There's more squabbling between D10 and Power GT, although Power I don't think has got a fantastic exit and could be under some pressure from Fuzzle. That gap is under a tenth of a second coming into turn 6. And no, oh my goodness, I'm trying to figure out where we are. Nobody making any more moves through the first part of the first sector, but wow, that's some real intense racing, and I think we're going to see that across the rest of the race, to be honest. Only about 6 laps to go, about 7 laps to go then before we do see that checkered lap. Indeed he has. I think those softs.
Tyre swing, yeah. It was 2 seconds about a lap ago, now it's 1.3. I think that's a tyre swing.
Yeah, 100%.
But even so, Shackles doesn't need to pass him. You just need to stay close. Stay within 5 seconds.
Yeah. Well, we come back to this squabble in the midfield, which provides the most excitement not only in real life Formula 1, but also here in XLR League Racing. And that's, I think Pyro's gone deep somewhere, or he's made a mistake.
He was full opposite lock through 1.
My goodness.
Like he was turning 180 degrees to the right. He still somehow made the corner.
You gotta, it's anything to hit the apex. Anything to hit the apex. But yeah, he's of course then dropped off rather significantly, 1.87 seconds now. But of course he's also on the soft.
Softs are going off.
Yeah, softs 100% going to be going off. But those hard runners.
The rain doesn't look like it's coming.
I know, this is the thing. The guys that stayed out on the hards hoping for not too many position losses are going to be finding that. Guys on the softs are also going to start to find themselves dropping down the order. And the lads on the mediums, well, they've just made the best bloody decision of their lives. Staying boxing for another set of mediums. We said the double medium strategy could work. To an extent it's worked with some guys boxing hard then mediums once the safety car came out.
No one's gone... Unitos the only car to have gone double medium.
Well, but so we had that safety car, so as effectively...
He doesn't need to pit again, no one else does.
That is also true. Petter Flat now making his way ahead of Pyro, though they're still going to be wheel to wheel through turn 1. There's just Petter Flat almost round. He's caught that one with majestic brilliance and precision, but now he's got his teammate Frosted Cheese in the wings waiting to make that move. He thinks to the inside, does Frosted Cheese, but unfortunately isn't quite able to get ahead of him. And wow, then we almost saw the two Aston Martins back away. El Plan is in P11. I don't know where he's come from. He's pretty much just come from nowhere to make his way up into P11. He was kind of just chilling, and now he's like at the back, and now he's here. No idea what happened there, but some pretty intense racing still to come. Then Liam Boulder is right on the back of Tech Support. Only about 0.4 of a second separates Liam with a definite podium, of course. With Tech Support's 3-second time penalty, it's going to drop him behind Liam at the moment, but that penalty could be removed. There's been so much action and so much drama and pushing and shoving that it's very likely it could be removed if Tech Support does provide the race director's report, of course. But Liam Boulder, a nice easy DRS overtake into turn 1 to make that position up into the podium, although he could be under some pressure from Tech Support here, who goes to the inside. But Liam, he's going to try and fight it around the outside as Liam Boulder. He is going to fight it around the outside, Liam Boulder. He's going to stick with the Mercedes the whole way round, and now as they make their run up the hill, the outside becomes the inside for Liam Boulder. He's still going to be there on the inside of Tech Support, who relinquishes that position away. And now Liam Boulder remains in P3, and I think for his sake, he'll be hoping he stays in P3. Giannuzzi's nowhere, not really close enough to make an impact on this battle yet. But now he's going to start to get a bit of DRS, I think, on Tech Support. In the next couple of laps or so, we might start to see Giannuzzi getting involved in this fight. Indeed, Shackles
first time in the restart.
Yeah, he's Shackles.
With Tech Support and Liam, it seems that they both try to back out for each other.
They just ended up both. That's why you lose so much time when you're battling, because X backs out on Y and Y tries to back out on X at the same time, and then you both are going slower. You both lose a lot of time. It looks like Pyro making a move on our plan now into turn 1, and Pyro back inside the points, but of course he does have a pretty hefty 3-second time penalty, which will not be doing him any favours. But Liam Boulder then does remain ahead of Tech Support this time around. No intense squabble on his way up the hill. We've only got 3 laps remaining. I don't think the rain's coming. We were talking up this rain like crazy.
Unitas is dropping out of the point. He's getting nowhere. He's going to be 16th.
Yeah,
he's got to pit.
He has to pit.
Oh, the rain's here! The rain's here all of a sudden.
Now,
it'll be too little too late, I think.
Yeah.
But the rain has started to fall.
Are we going to see a situation similar to Hungary, where we see Shackles stay out, but it's not going to quite be to the extreme?
In Hungary, there was 10 laps to go when the rain started to fall. Here there's 3 laps to go now.
So I think everyone's going to do what Shackles did in Hungary and just stick it out to the end. I mean, it depends how.
20 seconds for that.
It depends. It depends how rapidly this rain falls, but it looks like it's going to be fairly light at the start. Power GT in. Power GT in. That's interesting. That's an interesting choice to box. Haas also boxing.
Because he's the one that has to pit here.
And Haas picks up 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Power's put on the inters. Is that the right call? I don't think so, because he was in the points. Haas, I mean, he was nowhere, so I understand him boxing, but...
And Unitas has to. I'm surprised he didn't pit, because he's the one that really has to pit, and the later you leave it, the more time it's going to cost you.
Exactly. Interesting box from Power GT. I think if Power GT didn't box and Unitas did, it probably would have worked out slightly better for both of them. But here we are then. Everyone's got to be very careful in these increasingly stipulated conditions. And I say that, Giannuzzi's off. Giannuzzi's off the circuit.
I thought that was Shackles.
No, it's Giannuzzi, who is inside the ghost of El Nino. But I think El Nino is going to get the superior traction and ahead of him.
Oh, Hudson out on the inters.
Where's he done that? Oh, up the hill.
Up top of the hill.
That's an unusual place to crash.
It is definitely inters conditions, but there's no way it's worth it going on to the final lap. Or going on to the penultimate lap.
Well, Pyro's in, Unitos is in, Mr. Business is in, Mr. Business sliding his way into the pit lane. I think he was glad that pit lane limiter engaged there. Oh,
Yeah, look how many position Power GT's gaining.
Yeah, maybe it was the right choice.
He chose the right lap to pit if he was going to pit.
Oh,
but was it worth the pit stop?
Is it too wet for these guys? Because they've got to go 2 laps in these conditions.
It's only 2 laps though.
Is it 10 seconds slower?
No. It wasn't 10 seconds slower in Hungary. There's no way it's 10 seconds slower here.
It's going to be really
it's a
tight.
Short lap as well.
It's do the leaders pit? This is going to be the ultimate question.
No, you're not gonna gain 20 seconds in 1 lap. That is not worth the pit stop onto the final lap.
Yeah, Martinez stays out.
Top 2 don't pit.
Shakos stays out. I'd be surprised if Liam boxed because he's got the championship to think about.
If anyone comes in here, there's no way it's worth it. Yeah, no one's coming in.
No. So
it's 10 seconds Power GT to Frosted Cheese. He'll probably gain that position. Actually, he might. No, he probably even won't because he needs to be 10 seconds lap quicker. Like, he's gaining quite a lot. It's definitely into conditions. Oh, Martinez with a big slide. Like, it's totally into conditions, but it's totally also not, like, that deep into it.
The question is, can these guys keep it on the circuit? Because, of course, if they spin, because of these wet conditions, or it would have been worth it more to box, but I think they can.
Martinez is really struggling. He's the one with the wet setup as well.
He's on really old tyres, though. Really old, softest tyres that he can have. Of course, at the end of the day, he's got that penalty, which is going to drop him back. 5 seconds?
He's not going to lose to Liam, though.
No, he's not going to lose out to Liam.
He's got 6.5 to Liam.
Yeah,
so it's always going to be this way. Shackle's winning for Martinez and Liam.
Yeah. But look at that. Power GT gaining 5 seconds, and they're over halfway through the lap. So, well, Martinez has put in a wonderful performance this evening to make his way to the front of the field and the pole position, but due to a speeding in the pit, he is not going to take that position, that win, as Shakos wins.
He comes P2.
And Liam Boarder will finish out in P3. Tech support
bumps.
He finishes just by 0.4 of a second ahead of D10. And then we see Fuzzle in P6.
How did he get ped flat on the line? Frosted Cheese is out of fuel, I think.
Oh, he's in the wall.
I think he ran out of fuel, and he's left the session, which disconnected him.
Oh my goodness. Well, a very...
Do you think Power GT did get points in the end?
Yeah. But I think that's only because, literally, most other people did pit. But, well, that was a really exciting race, if I must be honest. I thoroughly enjoyed that one, and I think it was a good way to send off the Christmas break. So, from everyone here at XLR, from the admin teams, from the social teams, from the drivers, from everyone, I really do hope you've enjoyed 2023, and as a league, 2023 has been an incredible year for our growth, for everything really. For the drivers, we've opened 2 tiers. It honestly has been a brilliant year for XLR. We've gained some fantastic people, and we've retained some fantastic people as well. And, well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this year of racing as much as I have. It has honestly been fantastic and wonderful for everyone here. And, you know, all the guys that have been here since the start of the league have just seen it grow and develop into such a fantastic place for us to go racing every week in, week out. And I hope it is that same place for everyone at home as well. So I want to say a big thank you to Numi for joining me in the Combox today. And do you have any final words, Numi?
I didn't realise the entire time. I didn't realise it was me.
But then a big thank you to everybody for watching today's stream. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you've had a fantastic 2023. And of course, we won't be back with you until we enter 2024. So have a fantastic Christmas, however you choose to celebrate, and have a wonderful new year. And we'll see you back in 2024 for XLR's best year yet. Massive thank you to all of our supporters, our fans, and our viewers. and our drivers, our commentators, our admins, stewards, everyone. And I hope everybody has a fantastic Christmas holiday. And we will catch you on the 7th of January for round 6 here in XLR.